Welcome to a deep dive for anyone out there dreaming of becoming an import-export manager in the flower and plant world. Big interview on the horizon. We're unlocking RoleCatcher's guides, so you're prepped to knock their socks off.
It's a role that goes way beyond just, spreadsheets and shipping routes. You're practically a bridge between gorgeous blooms and the global stage.
Talk about bridging the gap.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher, especially with these AI features, it's like having a secret weapon, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Imagine getting instant feedback on your answers, and it's tailored for this specific job. No more of that generic interview advice.
It really is like having a personal coach in your corner, analyzing every word, highlighting what sings, and giving you pointers on where you can bloom, so to speak.
I love that. And with the video practice, you're not just hoping you sound good, you're seeing it.
Exactly.
It's all about putting your best pedal forward.
Yeah.
So let's get down to brass tacks, shall we? Some of these interview questions. This first one, it almost feels deceptively simple. How did you first become interested in the import-export industry?
It seems like they're asking for a story, doesn't it?
It does.
Instead of just rattling off your resume, right? Think back to what lit that fire in your belly. Was it a trip, maybe? A Dutch flower market that left you awestruck? Or one of those documentaries, maybe on the global flower trade, that really opened your eyes to this whole world?
Find that personal anecdote.
Yeah, those are the stories you want to share because that's what makes you stand out.
It's like connecting those dots between, like you said, your personal experiences and then here I am, ready for this.
Yeah.
Now, this next question, I can already feel things getting a bit more technical. Describe your experience in managing customs and compliance regulations. And working with perishable goods, I imagine things can get
Oh, absolutely. Things can get a little thorny.
a little complicated.
Think about it, right? You've got a shipment of, let's say, roses coming in from Ecuador, beautiful roses.
Yeah.
Suddenly, they're stuck at customs. Why? A discrepancy on that phytosanitary certificate. What do you do?
Oh, boy.
That's your moment right there to showcase this is how I handle it. Your knowledge of those very specific regulations, your problem-solving skills. Can you think on your feet when the pressure's on?
It's about proving you can handle those unexpected wilts that always seem to pop up. All right, moving on to question 3. What experience do you have in negotiating contracts with suppliers and customers? I feel like this is such a balancing act. You've got the growers and then the florists.
It truly is. It's a delicate dance,
Yeah.
Because it's not just about the price tag at the end of the day. It's about forging those relationships.
Oh, absolutely.
This is where a good story can really make a difference. Can you share an example of a time you negotiated that win-win? Maybe you secured a fantastic contract with a new supplier, but you also made sure the pricing was fair, or perhaps you navigated a tricky negotiation, a demanding client, but kept that relationship intact.
Instead of just saying, I'm a great negotiator.
Right, exactly.
Go, give them the evidence. Paint that picture for them. Okay, this next question, I think this highlights the dynamic nature of the industry. How do you stay up to date with industry trends and changes in regulations? And I imagine it is a very fast-paced world.
Oh, it is. It's constantly evolving, isn't it? This is where you want to highlight how proactive you are. Don't just say you read industry news. Get specific. Are there certain publications, conferences, online forums, anything that shows you're not just keeping up, you're ahead of the game?
Give us the receipts.
Exactly. Think about it. Are you subscribed to Floriculture International, for example? Do you make it a point to attend the International Floriculture Trade Fair? Those details, they matter.
They show that commitment.
They really do. It shows you're a lifelong learner. And in this industry, you have to be.
And it's not just about knowing the trends, right? It's understanding how they actually impact the day-to-day of being an import-export manager. This next question, I feel like we're getting into the nitty-gritty now.
Yeah.
Describe your experience in managing logistics and supply chain operations for import-export activities. We're talking about getting those blooms from point A to point B, and they have to be perfect.
Oh, absolutely. Talk about a delicate dance. You've got timing, temperature control, international logistics. It's a lot to wrangle.
It really is.
And this is where you can really shine. Share a time when you optimized a process and it made a real difference. Did you streamline a shipping route, maybe shaved off some transit time, reduce the risk of those dreaded delays? Or perhaps you implemented a brand new tracking system, something that brought in more transparency, helped reduce those losses from, well,
Spoilage. It's heartbreaking when that happens.
It is, and it can be a real hit to the bottom line, too.
For sure. So it's about showing them, hey, I'm not just managing logistics, I'm optimizing them. Okay, speaking of juggling, let's talk about keeping those bouquets in order, but also those deadlines.
Yeah.
The next question is, how do you prioritize and manage multiple projects and deadlines? This feels like a role where a calm demeanor is essential.
It's essential, absolutely. But it's more than just staying cool under pressure. It's about having those systems, right? Don't just say you're an organized person. Give them a peek behind the curtain. What's your secret weapon? Do you swear by project management software?
Oh, tell us everything.
Maybe you're a color-coded spreadsheet guru. Or maybe you're a to-do list aficionado, the old school pen and paper.
Love it.
Whatever works, but show them you have a method to the madness because let's face it, this role, that to-do list, it's always blooming.
Pun intended.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I guess, blooming, right?
Yeah.
Question 7 takes us into leadership territory. Describe your experience in managing a team of import-export professionals. What are your thoughts on leading in this kind of niche field?
Well, at the end of the day, it's about empowering your team to thrive. What's your leadership philosophy? Are you all about open communication, making sure everyone feels heard? Do you foster a culture where everyone's learning, growing, getting better all the time?
I love that.
And again, stories. Think of a team success. Did you all work together to implement a new customs compliance system? Something that streamlined the entire operation? Share that.
It's about showing that you can cultivate a team that not only survives, but thrives in this industry. All right, this next question, it sends a little shiver down my spine, I have to say. How do you ensure compliance with all applicable import-export regulations? I mean, the stakes feel incredibly high here.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because we're not just talking about a slap on the wrist. We're talking shipment delays, fines. You could be facing legal ramifications, and your reputation. That takes a hit, too.
That's a big deal.
It is. This is where you get to showcase your eagle eye for detail, that proactive mindset. So tell them, do you have a system for keeping tabs on those ever-changing regulations, all those different government agencies? It's a lot to track.
It really is.
Do you have a legal eagle on speed dial? An expert in international trade who can help you navigate the complexities? Let them know.
You want to reassure them that you're not just aware of the rules, you're on top of them, constantly evolving as the landscape changes. Okay, final question. And it really highlights that forward-thinking mentality. How do you manage risk in import-export operations?
And this goes beyond just looking at spreadsheets, thinking about the bottom line. It's about anticipating those potential hiccups, those disruptions, and having a plan B, C, and D ready to go.
It's that what-if scenario planning.
Exactly. What if, say, a volcano erupts in Colombia, disrupts the entire global rose supply? Or maybe there's a sudden shift in quarantine regulations, and now you've got logistical bottlenecks everywhere.
Oh, wow.
This is where you get to say, I've got this. You show them you're not just reacting to problems, you're 10 steps ahead, mitigating risks before they even have a chance to sprout.
Love it.
So do you have a diverse network of suppliers? You're not putting all your eggs in one basket if something happens.
Smart.
Have you mapped out alternative shipping routes? Just in case, there's a little unexpected weather. Well, you never know.
Together, you're ready for anything.
Exactly. And that's what separates the amateurs from the pros, wouldn't you say? They know in this business, preparation, that's the key to making sure those beautiful blooms, they get where they need to be, no matter what hurdles pop up along the way.
This has been incredible. Who knew the world of flower and plant import-export was so, I don't know, multi-layered?
Right.
It's fascinating.
It's a global dance, that's for sure. Logistics, regulations, a bit of cultural awareness sprinkled in. And of course, you've got to have a deep appreciation for the beauty of it all.
Absolutely. And I feel like thanks to RoleCatcher, we've got this incredible toolkit now, right? To not only navigate this world, but to ace that interview.
I think so, yeah.
It's not just about what you know, it's about how you articulate it, how you showcase that expertise.
It's about proving you can handle whatever comes your way.
And that you're passionate about it.
Absolutely.
So to everyone listening, go out there, show them what you've got, be bold.
Blossom.
Yes. That's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of import-export managers in the flower and plant industry. We hope you found this helpful as you gear up for your interviews. Until next time, remember, the world is your garden.